You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal. I'm here with Ken, Jeff, and Matt. How is everyone today?
Good day.
Good day?
Doing great.
Good morrow, Matt?
Oh, it's great. Great time to be alive.
What kind of pen do you have there? It looks like Sideshow Bob or something.
Yeah, it's got some green dealies on it, and it drives the cat crazy, so I can distract her with it.
Is that from trivia contests?
No, it's
handouts?
No, I get these for work.
You bought that with money?
Yeah, so I get them for work usually because when people ask to borrow a pen, they never steal the pen that has a wacky wavy arm guy on it.
Inflatable arm guy?
Yeah.
Playing 3D chess.
Yeah. No one's stealing that. Like, no, I brought this from home. Like, I know you did. So...
Well, one thing that we know no one's going to steal are our wonderful guests that we have today because we're excited. We're going to have a great game. Matt, you're going to be scorekeeping because you brought that special pen. So you're just going to be hanging out.
Well, you know,
the official scorekeeping pen.
And I'm going to blow the lid on this one. He is drained from being a Maryland State Trivia champion. So
yeah, shout out to the Pikachu Chupacabras. We won.
Are you allowed to compete on Triviality anymore? I don't think so.
I mean,
you've gone pro.
You're going to be like Rocky. You're going to get a robot, and you're going to have endorsement deals.
A robot? Who owns a robot? How about that?
I would pay money to watch you fight Dolph Lundgren.
At this age, Dolph Lundgren, maybe.
Still no.
Probably no.
I'm sorry, you're delusional.
He's got a long
I think one
reach.
punch.
That's the problem.
Well, famously, Dolph Lundgren actually punched Sylvester Stallone and sent him to the hospital during filming. So I think at this age, he probably still sends you to the
40
hospital.
years
He
ago.
does.
You know.
He's got some some muscle still.
Some power.
But speaking of power, we had to bring in the big guns because Matt's not playing, and we need an even more esteemed trivia player, I think, than the Maryland State champion. So our first guest is going to be one of our friends from Chicago, and so excited to have them here. Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Rowan. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing great. So nice to see you. Tell us what's been up in your world. I think when this airs, you will just have had a huge week. But yeah, tell us a little bit about what's going on in your world.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on in my world is about what's going to be going on in my world when this airs, which is to say, I write about horse racing, and we're about to hit Triple Crown season. As we're taping this, we've got like 4 Kentucky Derby preps coming up this weekend, and by the time this airs, it'll probably be just about Preakness season. We'll know who won the Run for the Roses. Sorry, I can't give you any foresight because we don't even know all of the horses who are in it. And, you know, unlike 2015, when I decided in, September that, hey, Keen Ice is going to be the man. I don't have a Derby horse yet and won't until the week they draw the race because I'm not insane. Or maybe I am, just not in that way. Like, I like having my information. Maybe I'm overly cautious. That's what it is.
We all have our own crazy.
I myself am very much looking forward to the Seahorse Derby coming up as well. Yeah,
Yeah, if we put all your money
stakes.
on Gentleman's Wager is what we hear. That's where you have to put your money on. Sounds like a good horse.
Oh, I mean, there's all kinds of there's all kinds of great derbies coming up over the summer too. You know, the racetracks will have T-Rex races. They'll have Corgi races. Just all kinds of like weird, silly, and very cute races. They'll run the Corgi races at Emerald Downs, then a few months later show them on ESPN the Ocho, and so I will watch them twice every year. And even when I'm spoiled on the results, the Corgis are still really cute.
There you go.
So,
It's
Rowan,
one of the defining characteristics of corgis.
we're going to partner today
Exactly.
if that's okay with you.
Sounds good to me.
And in honor of the crazy week you've had and you're going to have, we're going to be a play on a movie directed by John Landis and what Rowan's been up to. So we're going to be the Kentucky Fried Derby.
There you go. And I think I'm going to team up with Jeff here to take you guys on. And we're going to be the Churchill Clowns.
The Churchill Clowns. And you're both wearing really nice hats today, so that makes sense. But we need a host, and we're so excited to have our host here. Been very active on Discord, which we appreciate. Always great to see everyone over there, play testers, and just people hanging out in general. But coming to us from New Jersey, Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, Arthur. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing quite well, actually. Just happy to be here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
so
sound
much.
great. You very camera ready. Here he says producer Arthur on your screen. Just happy to be here. So tell us a little bit about yourself, other than being happy to be here.
Well, yeah. So if you listen to Brain Ladle Trivia, that podcast, I am the newest addition there. I am producer Arthur. That is my character name, I guess. But my real name is just Arthur. I wasn't born with the name producer. And yeah, I'm from, like you said, New Jersey. By day, I work at college here at the graduate school as a coordinator. At night, I'm an amateur community theater actor who just loves doing that. I've got a terrific wife, got a terrific son, and I've got hopefully a terrific quiz. We'll see how it goes, but I feel good. I mean, I wrote it about 2 or 3 minutes ago, so I'm thinking it's going to be strong. And I actually don't have the last 5 questions, so we're just going to make that up as we go.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for a terrific game, we need some terrific rules. I believe we have some AI to present the rules today.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let's hear the rules.
Triviality podcast is 2 rounds of 20 questions worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there's a special swing round by this week's host. In the final round, players wager points they've earned for a chance to become the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop.
All right, so thanks to Hal 9000 for the rules, and I'm afraid I can't let you win, Neal. Let's play the game.
But you can let me win, right?
Yeah, I can let you win.
Hey, I think after this quiz, I think you'll see we're all winners here. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, and that you're
like
probably
that.
going to tie. All right, let's go.
I'm gonna blow Neal out the airlock now.
I'll just be the little baby and floating in space.
There you go.
Okay, so basically what I've done with my quiz, I really just started coming on and doing these podcasts, so I like to do kind of an introduction to get you to know who I am. So my favorite type of quiz is the mystery theme. And basically, round 1 and round 2 are going to be mystery themes. And the way that this will work, if you don't know what a mystery theme is, it's basically you don't know what the theme is because it's a mystery. And all the answers are going to be kind of linked to a single theme. And it's up to you guys to figure out what that theme is.
Yeah, and I believe we discussed beforehand that if we get it, we're going to check in after 5. And if we get it there, we get 10 points apiece. And if we get it after 10, we get 5 points, correct?
That is correct. Yep.
All right, sounds great.
And I've got
Sweet.
a few bonuses thrown in here. So yeah, we'll have some fun. And just to give you a bit of an idea of who I am, I do love movies. There's a 99% chance that this mystery theme is movie related.
Oh, good to know.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll help you guys out. All right, so we'll go with question 1, category 1, singers. What Welsh singer is the only artist to have recorded not 1, not 2, but 3 James Bond movie theme songs? And for a bonus, for 1 point each, name those 3 James Bond movies.
All right, Rowan, they are locked in. I think you had a lead with a bullet on who this is.
Oh yeah, I know Shirley Bassey's Welsh, and I know she did 3 themes. Now I'm just trying to think of what movies she did the themes for. Diamonds Are Forever.
That one for sure. Definitely Goldfinger. I was going to say Goldmember,
Goldfinger,
but
that's
Goldfinger.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And I think Moonraker.
Oh, Moonraker, not Thunderball. You're right. No, it's not.
Moonraker.
It's Moonraker. Yeah, it's not Thunderball. You're right. It's Moonraker.
not
So, yeah.
Well,
He's
Yeah,
the one who rakes the moon.
well, it sounds like you guys have a good line on that
I
one.
think a moonraker is a term for someone from Wiltshire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we did not have a good line on that one. We just said Tom Jones.
Which for a Welsh singer is not an unusual guess.
And
Not
Tom
a correct
Jones.
one, though.
Tom Jones is the one that did the Thunderball theme. So
Oh, good to know.
you're good.
There you go.
So yeah, it is Shirley Bassey with a legendary voice. And the 3 movies were Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and Moonraker. So there you go. Good job.
Well done. 13 points for you guys.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Doja Cat not quite got the Shirley Bassey vibe, but tried during the Oscars. So,
Question 2, sports television. What is the name of the American sports television channel owned by NFL Network that only broadcasts during football season and usually on Sundays between 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern? And then,
Looks like
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific if anybody needs that.
Looks like Jeff knows this one, so we're locked in.
Watched a bit in my day, I believe.
Rowan, is this possibly Red Zone? I know that's an NFL Network thing.
I know of Red Zone being a broadcast thing. I'm happy to go with it. I was not going to have any guess other than that because, yeah, like football is not my thing. I just can't get into it. So Red Zone was going to be the best guess I had.
All right, yeah, let's just go for it. I'm not 100%, but might as well go for it.
Yeah.
Jeff was gonna say Red Tube, but I said no. It's Red Zone.
You can
Different type
you
of
can
ball
watch
play
that
on that one.
You can watch
Yeah.
that in a quad box too, just so you know.
And you don't really need to be on there from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Usually it's a couple minutes is all you need. Yes, it is NFL Red Zone. That is correct.
If you need Red Tube for more than 4 hours, please call your doctor.
Okay. Next, question 3. American music. This band that Rolling Stone called the most important band of the 90s holds the record for second most performances at Madison Square Garden, despite having only one song to ever hit the top 10 of any Billboard music chart. As a bonus, if you can also name that song which charted at number 7 on the adult alternative airplay chart.
All right, well, this question is a bit tough here. Trying to imagine what Rolling Stone would say is the best, the most important band of the 90s.
Right, they're not the best necessarily.
And also who would be playing Madison Square Garden a lot. Because I don't think it was like Nirvana, for example. But we're going to lock in with a guess here.
Yeah, they didn't really perform after 1994 for some reason.
So, Rowan, what's throwing me is that they only had one number one hit, but they're considered the best
Or even
band.
top 10 hit.
Yeah, right. And I know you wrote down Radiohead, which I think is a great guess, or because it can't be Pearl Jam or Nirvana, but
because I know at least like Radiohead, they weren't big on the charts in the 90s, but man, the critics loved them. Like they kept pushing basically everything on OK Computer down my throat, and I'm like, I don't want it. No, go away. And like they wouldn't go away with it.
Let's just go with that
because I feel about hippies and Dave Matthews Band.
I can't think of a better guess right now. Do you want to just go with Radiohead?
Yeah, and like my guess as far as the one of their songs that would hit an alternative airplay chart would probably be Creep.
That's an excellent
That
guess.
sounds
and
really good.
Sounds like what Rolling Stone would say too. We just said Foo Fighters and said Learn to Fly.
Okay. Would it help if you, if I told you that this 90s band was also considered the Grateful Dead of the 90s? Would that help you guys figure this out?
Fish.
It's Fish.
Wow.
Are
Yep,
you
Fish.
serious?
Yeah, it is more upsetting than I thought.
Is that My Name Is Mud? Is that their?
No,
it's
that's
called,
Primus.
That's Primus.
Oh, Primus. I always mix them
Yeah.
up. The same
My
Train
name
Anastasia,
is
though, right?
Mud.
No,
I mean,
Come
they
on
didn't have a
now.
lot
Same
of.
bass
very
player?
different.
No, you're just
Very
off. You're
different.
off base.
Is it the same bass player?
No.
I don't believe so. And the song is a song called Free. I was going to give you like 30 points if you knew it. When I played tested it, nobody knew what the song was, which was, I thought, ironic since it was their only hit song. But they're kind of a jam band, so they don't have a lot of songs that play on the radio too much. But they were huge in the 90s. But yeah, Fish spelled with a PH. Question 4 is European leaders you cannot trust. In 1849, who was elected to the Prussians' Chamber of Deputies as a conservative and told one of his fellow conservatives, "We are Prussians, and Prussians we shall remain. We do not wish to see the Kingdom of Prussia obliterated in the putrid brew of cozy South German sentimentality." Of course, in 1873, he would pretty much negate that statement and become the first chancellor of the German Empire.
Yep, we're locked in. We both had the same thought.
This one's all on you, Rowan. I have no idea on this one.
I mean, I was typing, and then they said they locked in. I think the first German chancellor was Otto von Bismarck.
Oh, okay. Before he became a pastry. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, now I want a buttercream Bismarck. Those things are so good.
Let's lock it in.
Yeah, let's lock in with Otto von Bismarck.
We said the same.
Yeah, that's right. It is not only the pastry, but also the famous capital of North Dakota, Otto von Bismarck. All right. And finally, question 5 in this first half. So get thinking if you already know what the mystery theme is. But a missing sports legend. What pitching legend made national headlines when he abstained from pitching during the first game of the 1965 World Series to mark Yom Kippur?
I totally agree, Rowan. Let's lock your answer in.
What are you thinking here?
65.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like a
Jewish
pitcher.
Pitching legend.
Yogi Berra, was he a pitcher?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a good enough guess. Let's go with it.
All right. We're going to lock in Yogi Berra.
Also missing were the picnic baskets.
You had this one right away, Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, you're barking up the right tree with like trying to think of a famous Jewish pitching legend, and this famous Jewish pitching legend who wouldn't pitch on the high holidays was Sandy Koufax.
That is correct. It is Sandy Koufax. And Yogi Berra, not a pitcher. He was a catcher.
Catcher.
Yeah, he was a catcher.
Wrong side of the coin.
Yeah, you were
Still
you were
part of the
close.
battery.
Yeah, I mean, you were. It was. You didn't pick a first baseman or something like that. You picked somebody that was still in there.
You picked a baseball player.
You picked a baseball player.
Great job there. Yeah, after 5, coming out of the box strong, Kentucky Fried Derby, 43 points. Lagging behind just a little bit, the Churchill Clowns, goofing off a little too much, apparently.
We're just clowning around over here.
20 points, but there's several furlongs left in this race, so we'll see how this goes.
This is a route, not a sprint.
Yeah, so exactly. That's exactly what I'm looking for here. So, question number 6. The category is legendary moms. What acting legend had her final film role in 1997 when she played Aunt Martha in the film version of Leave It to Beaver?
All right, legendary moms.
I can kind of see the face, but I don't.
Judy Garland. I initially wrote Liz Taylor.
I thought she. Yeah, I don't know.
But Judy Garland is famously a mom.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
It's Liza Minnelli. Let's say Judy Garland.
All right. I'm kind of using game theory just here. I can't remember this movie, the live action version, but my guess is the original mom cameoed in the movie, and I'm assuming played Aunt Martha, and the original mom from the TV series was Barbara Billingsley, so that's our guess.
Okay, well, if you remember anything about these remakes of television shows, they always bring the original actors in as a cameo, and yep, Aunt Martha was played by Barbara Billingsley.
Wow.
Nice.
And she's
Very well
legendary
done.
because, from what I understand, people that grew up in the 50s and early 60s, that was their mom that raised them. So that's why she's a legend. All right, let's move on to question number 7. This one is going to be one that I think a lot of you guys are going to know. Probably one of the, I assume that this was the category that Matt won that game in that he did, which I forgot the title of it, but it was important.
It was a big game.
Yeah. So the category is contracts in the UK. According to UK labor law, what type of contract is an agreement between an employer and employee, whereas the employer is not obliged to provide any minimum working hours and the worker is not obliged to accept any work offered? And if you are not an expert in UK labor law, well, shame on you, but it shares the name with the time when a military operation begins.
All right, so they locked in. You seem to have a good angle on this one, Rowan. You can take it.
Yeah, I heard the thing about that type of labor contract, and I'm like, I play enough British quizzes. I've heard some questions about these contracts. What are they called? And then you got to the part about the time when a military operation begins, and it's like, oh, I think that's 0 hour, which is also what AEW calls like their pre-show that you can watch on YouTube before all their pay-per-views, which would be why I think of that phrase more than most, perhaps. But then I'm like, right, that sounds like I'm pretty sure that's it. It pinged something in the back of my brain being that contract. So we locked in with a 0 hour contract.
Yeah, we said that too.
And that is it, 0 hour. Okay. The next category is, this is question 8, 70s hit songs. Okay. What 1975 hit song features the following lyrics And you'll also get a bonus if you can name the artist that performed the song or the band that performed the song. I'll give you a little hint because this is tricky. But here are the lyrics. Oh, my love, you're so good, treating me so cruel. There you go with your fancy lies, leaving me looking like a dumbstruck fool.
All right, we're locked in with a guess. We honestly have no idea. The lyrics are not ringing a bell.
Yeah, Rowan, we had a very, very long discussion, and we think it is what band? I'll let you pick what band it is.
Going to let me pick what band it is. My first comment to Neal after this question came up is, man, 70s music is a big smoking hole for me.
The Smoking Holes.
I like the Smoking Holes. Let's say that's the band.
Yeah, the Smoking Holes. There we go.
I don't think it was from 75, but I think it was a 70s song. We guessed Cruel to Be Kind.
Oh, that's a good song. That is a good song. This is, of course, from the one-hit wonders, the Smoking Holes. Actually, no.
Dang, guys.
To give you the band name, if you're really thinking 70s bands that were huge, this is the Bee Gees. And if you know the song that is about not understanding what a woman is saying because she's doing a whole lot of jive talking.
Jive talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Not one that I play a lot when I listen to the Bee Gees.
This was actually, this was their big hit before Saturday Night Fever came out. So this was like
It was on Jeff's no
one.
playlist at his wedding, actually. He said, no, we're not listening to this.
Yep.
I think I got the...
Which is weird because there was only 10 songs on
I
that.
think I got the theme finally.
Okay, now let's move on to question number 9. The category title is Bad Things Over the Counter. Volatile solvent abuse, common among teenagers, is more commonly known by what 2-word phrase?
All right. Well, knowing the category, it took me a while to come up with this, but I finally think I know what it is.
All right, Rowan. You wrote down a few things that make sense, but I can't think of commonly known by 2-word phrase.
Yeah, I mean, volatile solvent abuse is like, sniffing glue, huffing paint, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of something like possibly more general, but like...
Those are pretty
like,
common, yeah.
Like, I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
I mean, that one, it sounds better in a joke, so I'm leaning towards that.
Let's lock in with sniffing glue.
Okay.
I don't sniff glue anymore. I don't sniff glue any less either. But.
We're gonna say drinking problem.
Okay, so you guys said drinking problem, which I get why you said that, and then the other team said sniffing glue. It is. I would have accepted glue sniffing or sniffing glue. It is sniffing
Yes.
glue. Yep.
So we had originally, and we changed it.
And if you have figured out the category, then this next question, all I got to do is give you the category.
Did you figure it out?
If you
Neal?
figured out the theme,
there.
if you figured out the theme,
there.
then this is going
I
to
know
be
what
the
it is
easiest
for
question
sure.
of the night, and I'm sure.
And then you shafted us.
Well, mine works too, I think.
All
But the
right.
volatile,
Final question.
but that's not like
I
a
guess
volatile
not
compound.
volatile. Yeah, I guess.
The final question
I got
is
it. Yeah.
another sports legend. What NBA player holds the record for most MVP awards with 6? He won his first in 1971.
I'm locked in.
And he did it with the Milwaukee Bucks.
And we're going to lock in as well. We think this is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
Yes.
or Lou Alcindor.
He
Yeah.
did win the first title as Lou
Kareem
Alcindor.
Abdul-Jabbar,
Yep.
star of Game of Death.
Yeah, very good, very good. Where he fought
And
Bruce
also
Lee.
the star of Airplane.
Which is what
is
we're
the theme.
guessing the secret theme is.
Yeah, our secret game theme is airplane as well, exclamation point.
Yes, airplane, exclamation point is the correct answer. That's why on another sports legend, I would have also accepted the answer, Roger Murdoch.
All right, after the first half, Kentucky Fried Derby never stopped scoring. They got 88 points, doing very well. Churchill Clowns little bit far back, but I think you could still see them in the rearview mirror. 45
We're
points.
just going to get back in the car with all the other Churchill clowns.
All 400
Well,
of you.
first you have to walk like a mile from the racetrack to your car because it is Kentucky Derby Day.
Points where we're going, Ken. We don't need points.
No, but we do need is
All-
support from our patrons. Isn't that right,
That's
Neal?
right. I was just going to say there, Matt.
Yeah, we do. And we have 2 patrons in the house tonight. So thank you to them. And thank you to everyone who's helped support the show, especially over the past year or so. And, getting all this bonus content available and made because of your support. So if you want to join Patreon and get no ads, you can do it for as little as $1 a month. Get rid of all these ads. And for as little as $5 a month, you get all of our bonus content included, which is 3 weekly trivia bonuses, plus the crop drop, plus all the cool things we do like Triviality minis and bonus episodes and all that good stuff. So if you'd like to support the show, like the 2 patrons in studio today, go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
All right, let's jump into the swing round. What do you have for us today?
All right, so I'm going to be a little bit honest with you here. I ran out of time, really, in my schedule. Did not have the time to write a swing round, but my cousin Richie, who he wanted to help, so I said, "Sure, you can help." You know what? I want to do a swing round on Broadway musicals because I love Broadway musicals, and so what I did was I gave him 12 Broadway musicals, and I said, "You know what? Just find 2 songs from the musical. I'll read the 2 songs." And then you can, they'll have to guess what the musical is. And then he brought back the quiz about like 10 minutes before we were supposed to go on. And he did not do any research. It looks like he just guessed what songs would be in these musicals. I can't change this. I don't have time. So I'm just going to give you the 2 songs and you guys guess the musical. Sounds
Okay.
pretty
All right.
simple. All right. So let's go. I'll read out the 10 real quick. Or the 12. Actually, I got 12. Oh, even better. Number 1. Oh no, it's the first of the month. And just flew in. Need a car. Number 2. To hell with the ozone. And Aquanet. Number 3. Jerry Bruckheimer and Quincy Jones. Number 4. Illuminati, he found it. And The Wealth of Nations, get it to the press. Number 5, Got to Go Pee, my favorite kind of cheese. Number 6, Stay Tan, George. Or Are You There, Oz? It's Me, Margaret. Number 7, Carnies Can Be Women Too. And My Girlfriend Shows Off Her Prized Pig. Number 8, Where Does the Horsey Go? And We're All Pawns Here except for those 8 jerks behind us. Number 9, Yawn, Good Morning, May. And April Showers Get Me Up in the Morning. Number 10, Out All Night, Then Sleeping on the Bus. And Wake Him Up, The Students Are Touching Each Other. Number 11, Meeting Annabelle. And How's It Going, Fourth First Lady? And finally, number 12, Watching an Irish movie musical on my bed, and Seeley Tells a Story.
All right, so these are a bit of a puzzle we're going to have to solve. We will do that during this break.
Incoming transmission.
Hello, my name is Matt.
And I'm McKinley. We are the father-son team that brings you History Dispatches.
History Dispatches is a short daily history show where we talk about topics from all over the world and all throughout history. We talk about people, places, events, and even objects.
While anything is fair game, we have a soft spot for the weird, the wacky, and the obscure things you may have never even heard of.
Do you have any examples?
How about Wojtek, the bear who rose to the rank of corporal in the Polish army? Or the Great Emu War? Or how about the biggest treasure take in the history of piracy?
That sounds cool, but do you have a story about the head of Oliver Cromwell? Or one about the ancient library of Alexandria? And a story about the first woman to climb Mount Everest would be cool.
Well, we got those as well. Every weekday, there's something new and fun.
Sweet. So how do I get this trove of goodness?
All you have to do is go to historydispatches.com or just look for History Dispatches in your favorite podcast app.
Hey everyone, it's Dan Souza from America's Test Kitchen. I'm super excited to let you all know that we're launching a new video podcast that takes you behind the scenes into the messy, imperfect, but riveting day-to-day life right here in our test kitchen. Not only do I get to talk to my colleagues about the latest taste test they attended.
I just came from a tasting of salted caramel apple pie bars and then roasted garlic, so I apologize.
Or about a recipe they're developing.
The thing about this recipe is it's a secret. The restaurateur refuses to tell people what her secret ingredients are.
We also chat with amazing guests from the culinary world and beyond.
The lamest joke I've ever said. I said to Marie Bamford.
Great.
It's definitely
great
said
joke.
Thanks, Sam.
Make sure to subscribe to In the Test Kitchen so you don't miss an episode. You can watch In the Test Kitchen on YouTube and Spotify and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Can't wait to see you in the Test Kitchen.
Steve Cubine and Nan McNamara's podcast from beneath the Hollywood sign.
Mary Astor has been keeping a diary.
Mary writes everything down.
And so this torrid affair with George S. Kaufman is chronicled on a daily basis.
In great detail. And Ike pulls out a box and gives McAllister a ring saying, here's something to remember me by. This article caused Daryl Zanuck to hit the roof.
Actress Ruth Roman followed that up with playing a foil to Betty Davis in Beyond the Forest. I mean, if you can stand toe-to-toe with her, boy.
And she does, because she plays the daughter of the man that Betty Davis kills out on the hunting trip.
And it's directed by King Vidor, so he's no slouch.
How do you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Speaking of the Oscars, talking about what I call beginner's luck, it's all about the actors and actresses who won an Oscar on their very first film.
Get your fix of old Hollywood from Steve and Nan on the podcast from beneath the Hollywood sign.
All right, we are back. We have some answers. Let's see how this goes. Arthur?
All right. So let's start with number one. Oh, no, it's the first of the month and just flew in. Need a car?
Both of those occasions, I'd be worried about rent.
Yeah, first of the month would be when you pay the rent.
And that is correct. It is, of course, the classic rent. I was trying to.
Where is the rent?
Embarrassingly, I was trying to come up with some kind of clever adjectives for it, but all I got was classic, and that was it. So I apologize for my. I don't have a thesaurus with me right now, so this is going to be tricky. All right, question number two. To hell with the ozone, Aquanet.
We said hairspray.
Aquanet is a brand of hairspray, and yeah, it wasn't very good for the ozone layer. We also said hairspray.
Yep, and also it is the title of the musical has an exclamation point at the end. It is Hairspray. Number three, Jerry Bruckheimer, Quincy Jones.
We said the producers.
We also said the producers.
Yeah, that's right. It is the producers. Now we get into the trickier ones. Number four, Illuminati, he found it. And the Wealth of Nations, get it to the press.
Just because they get it to the press, we thought maybe Newsies.
We thought maybe Newsies for the same reason. I mean, Illuminati made me think National Treasure, but I'm not sure there's a musical of that, so we said Newsies.
That'd be Front Row.
That is a very good guess. No, this is more of a trivia question because the Illuminati, do you guys know what year it was founded?
No.
Oh, 1776.
1776. Yep, that's also when the Wealth of Nations was published.
Adam Smith.
Deep cut.
Yeah. That was more trivia based. Number five, this one hung up a couple of you guys. Got to go pee. My favorite kind of cheese.
Actually, we feel pretty good about this
Yeah,
one.
The Wiz.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the whiz.
Oh, I think I blocked that out of my head because I absolutely hate the Wiz. We said you're in town on Gotta Go Pee, but yeah. I really should have thought of that just because I hate the Wiz so much.
I actually play tested this one not only on my wife, but it's also a bunch of community theater actors. And they all said you're in town. And when I goaded them to say, gave them some hints, they finally went with the Wiz and they said the same thing, Rowan. They're like, oh, why? I'm never going to remember that. So, yeah, I understand. Number 6, Stay Tan George. Are you there, Oz? It's me, Margaret.
We weren't too sure, but just with the presence of Oz, we said Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. There was Oz. We said Wicked.
Yep, that's why I put Oz in there, was to maybe trick people up to think Wicked. Sorry about that. I apologize for any meanness. But if you remember the 1939 version of the film, The Wizard of Oz, do you guys remember who played the Wicked Witch of the West?
Margaret Hamilton?
And
Hamilton. Oh.
It is Hamilton. That's right. And George Hamilton. Stay tan, George. He was famous for being tan. So,
George
yeah,
Hamilton.
the answer was Hamilton.
That's the guy.
Yeah. Number 7. This is one of my favorites because it's just a bad pun. Carnies can be women too. My girlfriend shows off her prized pig.
Oh, we just said The Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
We said carousel because, you find those at a carnival.
Exactly, though that's a good guess. But one thing you do find at carnivals, one thing that another name for a carnival where you would find carnies or even someone showing off their prized pig would be a fair. These are both women. This is My Fair Lady.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting from that. Sorry. Number 8, where does the horsey go? We're all pawns here except for those 8 jerks behind us.
I think there's a musical just called Chess, so we said Chess.
Yeah. Where does the horsey go? Because the knight moves really weird, and we're all pawns here except for those 8 jerks, like the, king and the queen and stuff. We said chess as well.
It is Chess. And do you guys know what the famous song is from Chess?
Not at all.
Oh my goodness!
It was a one-hit wonder. It was I think
One Night in Bangkok.
One Night in Bangkok. That is the song from.
No way.
One Night in
That's
Bangkok.
from Chess.
That's from Chess. Yeah, because that's where the second act takes place. Number 9, Yawn. Good morning, May, and April showers get me up in the morning.
We said Spring Awakening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We said Oklahoma, but it's absolutely Spring Awakening. And again, I have blocked out these musicals that I absolutely loathe from my head because I hate Spring Awakening too.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I love Spring Awakening. I was like, wow.
You're just very anti-Duncan
Musicals
Sheep.
can be very polarizing.
Yeah.
Wishful Thinking is a pretty good song, but yes, I'm otherwise anti-Duncan Sheik.
All right. Question number 10. Out all night, then sleeping on the bus. Wake 'em up. The students are touching each other.
No idea on this one, but we just said Kinky Boots.
My friend was in a production of The Drowsy Chaperone not too long ago, and these sound like drowsy chaperones to me.
Yeah,
I've
that
never
is.
heard of that.
It is the Drowsy Chaperone. That is right. When I heard it was the most amazing experience watching Rowan get it. It's just like the sudden like a light just shot out of every place. It was like, oh my god, I got
when
it.
that one clicked.
Yeah, the Drowsy Chaperone. It's actually a pretty good musical. It's very interesting.
Really cute.
It's basically an old man decides that he finds this old record that is the songs from the Drowsy Chaperone, and he plays it and listens to it, and that's what the musical is. It's this musical from the past that comes alive, and it's a pretty cool concept. Number 11, Meeting Annabelle. How's it going, fourth First Lady?
We said Hello, Dolly.
Yep. Fourth First Lady would be Dolly Madison, and I think Annabelle is the doll from like The Conjuring or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hello, Dolly.
That is right. That is Hello, Dolly. I almost put Meeting Chucky, but then I thought that might. But yeah. Hello, Dolly is correct. And another great bad pun that I have for number 12, watching an Irish movie musical on my bed, and Celie tells a story.
Once Upon a Mattress.
Yeah. One of the few musicals I actually took part in. But I was in the pit orchestra.
Oh, wow.
And we also said Once Upon a Mattress.
It is Once Upon a Mattress. That famous Irish movie musical is Once. And actually it came on Broadway. They actually did do a Once on Broadway. I believe it won the Tony even when it came on Broadway.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Yeah. I love that song. Falling Slowly was one of my favorite songs back in the 2000s.
Really good, yeah.
It's such a beautiful song.
All right, after the swing round, those clowns picking up 40 points, bringing their total to 85. Kentucky Fried Derby picking up 35 points to 123. But you know what? Anything can happen in the second half, so let's just get down to it because it is anybody's game.
Hey, Neal, smell my flower here.
You're such a clown.
What kind of clown are you, Ken? A tramp?
I'm a tramp.
Mm-hmm. You're the type of clown when you talk, you go, and then the seas will part, or whatever he says.
All right, I am someone that will get off on a tangent, and you guys were talking about clowns, and I started thinking of something, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just go right into the quiz. So round 2 is a mystery theme again. It seemed like we all had fun doing that. Same rules. I'm going to, after the first 5 questions, we'll see if anybody's got it. They will get 10 points. Then we'll see if anybody gets it after the second set of questions, and they'll get 5 points. So this mystery theme, I gave you a hint last time. This one, I'm not really going to tell you what this is. Just it is something that I really like. So if you know me personally, you might be able to get it quickly. If not, it's not too difficult. But there are some deep cuts here. So with that said, we'll start with number 1, which is in astronomy. 3 bright stars in a row named, and I am so mad at myself that I wrote these out and I have to now try and pronounce them. 3 bright stars in a row named Anatak, Alnilam, and Mintaka. I apologize to those stars for mispronouncing your names. Make up the most famous portion of what constellation?
Elected.
Yeah, I think you had this one right away, Rowan. You can take it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you said these 3 stars and you were thinking, oh, no, I'm going to have to pronounce this, I'm like, these are going to be Alnitak, Alnilam, and Mintaka, aren't they? And they were, and it's Orion's Belt.
All right.
Yeah, we also said Orion's Belt, and it's the only constellation I can spot. So good for me.
The answer is Orion, because it's the whole constellation. Yeah. But Orion's Belt also counts, so Orion's Belt is correct. Number 2, actors and directors. Legendary action movie filmmaker John Woo and huge Hollywood movie star Tom Cruise only collaborated on 1 film. Name it.
Reluctant. Yeah, we're gonna say it's unfortunately the weakest of the Mission Impossible series. We're gonna say
it depends.
Mission Impossible 2. I rewatched them there. It's not good.
It's not a good movie, but
it's fun though.
It's a good bad movie.
It's a good bad movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go through the flames or whatever. We said Mission Impossible 2.
Do you have a problem with Bellerophone?
Yeah.
Ring. Bolero phone.
You can thank Mission Impossible 2 for getting Hugh Jackman as Wolverine because Dougray Scott was supposed to be Wolverine.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree. I think Mission Impossible 2 is the weakest of the movies, but they're all such good movies that I still consider it a good film.
They're all fun. Yeah, it's better than a lot of other action movies for sure. It's just John Woo in that movie is a little unhinged.
He went a little John Woo on it. Yeah, he did. I love a good slowly flying away white dove. But yeah, that was a little too much. All right. Number 3. This category is called noisy 20th century literature. In what novel would you find main character Robert Jordan, a young American volunteer during the Spanish Civil War, where his goal is to blow up a bridge during an attack on the city of Segovia?
All right, so they're locked in. We've centered Rowan, or I should say you've centered that it is a Hemingway novel.
I know he's a Hemingway character, and I can't remember if he's the one in For Whom the Bell Tolls, or if it's or is it The Sun Also Rises? It's one of those two.
Well, if it's a volunteer during a war, I think For Whom the Bell Tolls is a war volunteer. That's the only thing I know about it. But I could, maybe it's just because you said it, but I think it might be For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah, I haven't read either of those books. The only Hemingway I read Farewell to Arms, and I know it's not that. I had to read that one in high school. But if a war volunteer is ringing a bell for Whom the Bell Tolls, that was also my first instinct, so let's go with it.
Cool.
Yeah, there's this kind of noise
we're just gonna
ringing in
keep
my
it
ear.
simple. It's a noisy 20th century novel, so we're saying For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yeah, when you toll a bell,
Takes
it's
a
going to make some noise.
simple mind, Neil.
Oh, I didn't even see that little category hint there.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, it is For Whom the Bell Tolls. All right. Question number 4 is a bad movie description. So listen carefully. I'm going to basically give you the plot of a movie, but done poorly. And the movie description is this. Ken develops a friendship with a doll that is clearly not Barbie.
Oh, we can lock in, Ron.
Okay, go for it.
See, that one I can get.
I was just, we were saying earlier that this is the kind of thing that Neal hates, but he got it.
Did you say that it's not a real question? It's a valid question.
Okay, I got this one, Jeff, because I believe Ryan Gosling is also in Lars and the Real Girl.
Yeah, we said Lars and the Real Girl.
All right, good job. That is Ryan Gosling in Lars and the Real Girl. Thought it was funny that he was in 2 movies where he was in love with a doll. So
I know the theme too, guys. I think I referenced it a little bit.
Did you?
Okay. And finally, question number 5 in the first half. Energetic lawsuits. In April 2018, Gamma Labs settled a $118,500 lawsuit with California's Environmental Research Center over lead contamination found in what energy drink mix?
All right, so we're talking about energy drink mix. Does that just mean that is it a powder?
Yeah, I mean, like they made like Gatorade a powder. They made,
Powerade, maybe. Let's say Powerade.
Yeah, we were thinking of energy drink mixes, and yeah, G Fuel, because that was an energy drink mix, was very popular for a while, and there's a theme-related song called Fuel, so we locked it with G Fuel.
Yeah, it sounds like you might have the theme.
Give me fuel.
It is G Fuel.
And or fire.
Well, I'm guessing you guys
that
are both
may or may not be what I desire.
Yeah, I think it sounds like we're both locked in with Metallica for an extra 10 points.
When there's a theme and Lars is one of
so.
the answers, it really limits to what the theme could be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I saw For Whom the Bell Tolls, and that made me immediately start thinking Metallica, and then Lars popped up, and it's like, yup.
Where's the Saint Anger?
As a very angry teenager, someone gave me a whole bunch of cassette tapes, and in them were all the up until the more recent stuff was just basically all Metallica, and I just fell in love with the band. I love Metallica, and yeah, you got it. Metallica is correct. That's 10 points for both teams, so it actually did nothing. All right.
Matt, what's the scores?
All right, after the first 5 questions, Churchill Clowns with 135 points after picking up those extra 10 points, but a perfect first half of the second round for KFD, as I'll be calling them going forward, 60 points, bringing them to 183.
All right. Still anybody's game. Just to let you know, not to give any extra hints, but knowing what the theme is, this next half is going to be pretty easy. All right.
Well, it depends on our Metallica knowledge, which
that's a good point,
for me
yeah.
is a little limited.
All right. Next question, number 6. Good. This is a good short story description. A deceased narrator recalls the details of what happened after discovering his granduncle's notes and a small bas-relief of a scaly creature that looks like an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature. For a bonus, who wrote this short story? And I just realized that in all my years of, and it's been a lot of years, I don't think I've ever heard anybody write the word or say the word out loud. I don't know if bas-relief is how you're supposed to say it.
Bas-relief.
Is that what it is? Bas-relief?
Yep.
Okay. Bas-relief. Thank you. I just realized as I was reading it, I'm like, I have no idea how this is really pronounced. I know what it is.
All right, well, Jeff's D&D knowledge, I think, is coming into play. What were you thinking here with this strange description
I don't know. It kind of sounds like a beholder, perhaps. So
from D&D?
And I'm pretty sure Metallica has a song called "Eye of the Beholder." So
we'll go with that, and we'll say the author is Ambrose Bierce.
Yeah, this one, I don't remember the song or what it sounds like. I just know I spelled the title of the original wrong because they spelled it wrong on their album. We think it's H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu, but Metallica spelled it Cthulhu or something. They spelled it wrong.
Yes, they did spell it wrong. It is The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. And if you haven't heard that song, it's my favorite Metallica instrumental. It is such a great, it basically... it sets you up for kind of feeling you get when you read. I don't know if you've ever read this story, but it does set you up for that. And yes, the octopus, dragon, and human caricature is exactly what Cthulhu looks like, and it is terrifying.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
It is terrifying.
More
that's
like a
for sure.
mind
But
flayer.
to be
He does kind of look like a mind flayer.
yeah, exactly. To be fair, though, a beholder is also terrifying to look at as well. So that was a good guess with Eye of the Beholder. It is a Metallica
Beholder? I barely know her.
song.
Except for the horsey named Beholder. The horsey named Beholder is very cute.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Question number 7. Oscar trivia. Truth be told, I will hold a grudge if you can't name the movie which has an actor winning Best Supporting Actor for playing a character named Little Bill Daggett.
We can lock in.
Yeah, I believe that's Unforgiven, right?
That's a Metallica song.
Yeah, we agree. We think it's Gene Hackman in Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is Gene Hackman in Unforgiven. The next category is more Oscar trivia. We had so much fun with that last one. Why don't we keep it going? All right. This question is, how many competitive Academy Awards has Charlton Heston won? And for a bonus, how many nominations has he received?
Yeah, we had a very similar conversation. We think it's one because that's the song from Metallica.
That's
and then,
my favorite Metallica song, or at least pretty dang close to it. It's so good.
any idea on nominations? I would assume he only got nominated once, so maybe that's just like the trick. But not including the humanitarian award, I think he won in like the whatever year because that's not
It's not a competitive Oscar.
So it's got to be one.
Yeah, we also said one, and yeah, we're gonna say one nomination as well.
Yeah, like I said, this becomes easier when you know what the when you know what the theme is. But yeah, it is one, and he only got one nomination. Out of curiosity, do you know what that one win was for? What film?
10 Commandments.
Ben-Hur?
It is Ben-Hur. He won for Ben-Hur.
Had to be one of the two.
Yeah. And so yeah, it is one. And Rowan, I believe that was the song that Metallica won their first Grammy for. Was one. So yeah,
he went for Soylent Green.
One is another great song. You know
Tasty
what?
Film.
Just assume every time I say a song title, I think it's a great song.
That's good. That makes sense.
Yeah. Question number 9, traditional folk music. What traditional Irish folk song made internationally famous in the 1960s when the Dubliners made it their signature song features the tale of a highwayman betrayed by his lover?
We're locked in.
All right. Well, I know a couple Irish folk tunes just because of my affinity for Dropkick Murphys in the past. Having trouble relating it back to Metallica. I remember there was a song called Black Velvet Band, and they have an album called Black, I believe. So we'll say Black Velvet Band.
And we locked in with a song that Metallica did a cover of in the 90s that was all over MTV for a while when I was watching, Whiskey in the Jar.
Yep. That's, again, that song kicks ass. I love that song.
It does.
But yeah, actually, I found out when researching this that it's also maybe the most covered Irish folk song out there. Because it was a big
Alice in
hit.
Chains.
Yeah, it was a big hit with Thin Lizzy. And then, yeah.
Dropkick Murphys did do it too.
Yeah, and they did too. Yep, Whiskey in the Jar is correct. All right. And finally, we're wrapping up our Metallica. This category is should he stay or should he go? What is the name of the 8th studio album by Jay-Z, released on November 14th, 2003, wherein Jay-Z claimed he would be retiring after this album, which he, of course, didn't really follow through on. And for a bonus, what was the name of the 2004 documentary that focused on the retirement party concert at Madison Square Garden? So a double Madison Square Garden question. Wow.
All right, we're locked in.
Yeah, we think for sure this is the Black Album by Jay-Z. And then for bonus, we need it was the title of the documentary, which is Fade to Black.
We said the Black Album. We didn't know the title of the documentary, so pass on that one.
Yeah, this was the one bonus, which is also connected to the theme. Because, it is the Black Album, and the documentary is Fade to Black, which is another kick-ass Metallica song. Mm-hmm. All right. And there we go. That is it.
All right. After the second round, adding a little bit of distance, Kentucky Fried Derby adding 52 points, bringing their total to 235. And the Churchill Clowns adding some points. I can't do math right now. I'm really tired. It's 166 points, but it is anyone's game because you can both wager the max.
You say that, Matt, but Ken, I'm feeling the Metallica round is sticking around because I'm getting the feeling that nothing else matters.
What does matter, however, is our patrons.
Our patrons, that's right. If Metallica...
I'll always do a transition.
That's
no
good
matter
transition.
how bad it is.
Our patrons are the reason we're able to do this and do all our bonus episodes and do all the weekly bonuses on Patreon. So very simply, if you'd like to help support the show and join the two patrons on the show today, you can go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast and help us out.
All right, let's jump into the final round. What do you have for our categories today?
All right, so I've got the final round is going to be, the categories are kind of based around everything we just did. So I am going to go ahead and put a little caveat on here. The categories might not exactly name what you think they're going to name, so that might throw in a little wrench into any plans you might be having. But anyway, so the final round, the categories are planes, music owls, 80s metal, acting legends on film, and in honor of your amazing host, Arthur's.
All the wagers are now locked in. Let's go ahead and get the questions.
All right, so I will go down and give you these questions. And remember, again, I apologize if you wagered based on what I had said and this angers you in any way. We're just here having fun, guys. All right. Here we go. In the category of planes, in Euclidean plane geometry, what is the name of the system that specifies each point uniquely by a pair of real numbers, which are the signed distances to the point from two fixed perpendicular lines? In music owls, which is basically musicals with a space between the C and the A, what performer sang the following lyrics? Loving you whether times are good or bad, happy or sad. In the category of 80s metal, with an atomic number of 82, what metal takes its name from Germanic origin and its chemical symbol from the Latin form of its name? In acting legends on film, what acting legend made her film debut in 1900 at the Paris Universal Exposition after being approached by the Lumiere brothers to star in a film segment of her stage production of Hamlet? And finally, in the category of Arthur's, if you change just one letter of the name of the playwright who created John Proctor, you'll get an Oscar-nominated director who served as president of the DGA and whose last film was unfortunately National Lampoon's Pucked, released in 2006. Name both men.
History never says goodbye. It just says, see you later. Edward Galeano was right when he said that. Events keep happening over and over again in some form. And that's the reason I produce the podcast, My History Can Beat Up Your Politics. What is it? We take stories of history and apply them to the events of today to help you, perhaps, understand them better. We are also part of Airwave Media Network. I've been doing the program since 2006. That's a long time, and the show has a long name. My history can beat up your politics. Find me wherever you get podcasts.
Hey there, I'm Dylan Lewis, one of the hosts of Motley Fool Money. Each weekday on Motley Fool Money, we talk through the business news you need to know and the stories moving stocks on Wall Street. On weekends, we dive into the industries shaping tomorrow and host the experts, authors, and executives that understand them. Tune in for insights, a long-term perspective on investing, and of course, stock ideas. Plenty of them. To quote a listener, it pays to listen. Check us out and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to learn how you can make smarter decisions with your money? Well, I've got the podcast for you. I'm Sean Piles, and I host NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast. On our show, we help listeners like you make the most of your finances. I sit down with NerdWallet's team of nerds, personal finance experts in credit cards, banking, investing, and more. We answer your real-world money questions and break down the latest personal finance news. The nerds will give you the clarity you need by cutting through the clutter and misinformation in today's world of personal finance. We don't promote get-rich-quick schemes or hype unrealistic side hustles. Instead, we offer practical knowledge that you can apply in your everyday life. You'll learn about strategies to help you build your wealth, invest wisely, shop for financial products, and plan for major life events. And you'll walk away with the confidence you need to ensure that your money is always working as hard as you are. So turn to the nerds to answer your real-world money questions and get insights that can help you make the smartest financial decisions for your life. Listen to NerdWallet's Smart Money Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Everybody's locked in, and we are ready to face our clownish fate. Isn't that right, Jeff?
Absolutely. I'm feeling like an Auguste myself at the moment.
Okay. Well, we wagered 30 points on all these questions. The opposing team wagered 20 on all of them, so let's see how it shakes out.
All right, yeah. So, in the category of planes, in Euclidean plane geometry, what is the name of the system that specifies each point uniquely by a pair of real numbers, which are the signed distances to the point from two fixed perpendicular lines? And I went ahead and I wrote it knowing that I was going to have to say this question twice. All right. I hope I got it all in. There you go.
Yeah, we think for 30 points, these are the Cartesian coordinates.
And for 20 points, we said the same thing, Cartesian coordinates.
That is correct. It is the Cartesian coordinate system. Music Als. What performer sang the following lyrics? Loving you, whether times are good or bad, happy or sad.
We said Al Borland. No, just kidding. We said Al Green.
Yeah, that sounds like Let's Stay Together. We said Al Green as well.
I know, that was a trick because Al Borland did do a cover on it on Home Improvement. But no, yeah, Al Green is correct. All right, in 80s metal, and again, I really felt bad about this one because I knew you might have gone a different route with it, but what, with an atomic number of 82, what metal takes its name from Germanic origin and its chemical symbol from the Latin form of its name?
We thought this was lead.
You could have stopped at element number 82. It's lead.
Yes, it is lead, and I've got a lot of metals or a lot of elements to memorize before SporkleCon because everybody knows them but me, I feel like. All right. I now know what number 82 is, though, so that's good. Okay. Acting legends on film. What acting legend made her film debut in 1900 at the Paris Universal Exposition after being approached by the Lumiere brothers to star in a film segment of her stage production of Hamlet?
Well, we just tried to pick somebody ancient, and we said Greta Garbo.
I knew Sarah Bernhardt had done a production of Hamlet. I know she's French. Whenever anyone says Lumiere brothers, though, I think of like Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast making movies, and it always makes me giggle. But anyway, we said Sarah Bernhardt.
Well, I was just in a play that was about the subject of an actress in Paris doing a production of Hamlet and the controversy that it caused. And yeah, she was already an acting legend before she did this film debut, and it was Sarah Bernhardt. And the name of the play was Bernhardt Hamlet. It was a very good play. The guy that played the Czech artist in it was absolutely amazing, and I recommend.
So I hear.
Yeah. And finally, in my favorite category name, Arthur's, if you change just one letter of the name of the playwright who created John Proctor, you'll get an Oscar-nominated director who served as president of the DGA and whose last film was National Lampoon's Pucked, released in 2006. Name both men.
Well, we know one is Arthur Miller. Jeff, you said you wanted to do an audible on this one?
No, but I don't think
I said Arthur Milner, but you said you wanted to change the M.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
We're going to say Arthur Diller.
Okay.
Yeah, we said Arthur Miller, and I was just looking at the National Lampoon's Pucked, and I was like,
of course you were.
Who the heck directed this movie? But then thankfully I saw the DGA quote, and the director of Love Story, famously, was Arthur Hiller, so we said Hiller with an H.
It is Arthur Miller, and director of other films such as Silver Streak and See No Evil, Hear No Evil. It is Arthur Hiller.
All right. After the final, I'd love to say it was a photo finish, but unfortunately today it was not. The Churchill Clowns with pie all over their face. 196 points after the final. But Kentucky Fried Derby is today's cream of the crop. 335 on their way to a Triple Crown.
Harry Potter, the cream rises to the top. Oh, yeah.
There is something very settling about, not unsettling, but settling about the fact that we knew we couldn't catch up. So it just wasn't our day.
We were at peace.
Yeah.
We were at peace with it and just ate pie instead.
Now, can they do like a long exposure photo finish? Because we might get in that one.
You just need to Tobey Maguire on
I
top
mean,
of you.
they do a photo of the entire finish.
Yeah.
How do I know this? Because I work upstairs, and sometimes I have to go talk to the photo finish guy, and it's like, okay, I need the margins for like the last place horse or the second to last place horse, and that horse will be like 35 lengths behind. But no, there is a photo finish for all the finishes, whether they hang the photo light or not.
It's reassuring.
And now
that's
you know.
the inside scoop.
Yeah.
The inside scoop.
Rowan, we loved having you today. Any final shout outs before you head out?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was a lot of fun to be on here. I'll just give the same shout out that I always like to give, which is to say, if you or your friends are considering getting a horse, consider an off-track thoroughbred. Off-track thoroughbreds have been working with humans their entire lives, so they're very, they tend to be very comfortable with people and very trainable. And there are off-track thoroughbreds that can be the perfect horse for any discipline, from like chill family riding horses all the way to like serious eventing, show jumping, those kinds of things. So, yeah.
That's great advice, I think.
Yeah,
I honestly couldn't tell you, but I trust Rowan. I've never thought about getting a horse, and I probably won't.
I'm thinking about it.
It is good. It is good advice.
I'm actually might do it now. Well, now do you just, can they sleep in a doggy bed, or?
They're a little big for that. You probably need to get
Small stable.
a stable and a
And
pasture.
how many times a day do I have to walk them? And who cleans up? Do I have to clean up the poop if it's not dog related? I don't.
You need the shovel.
Yes,
actually.
you have to clean it up, Arthur. and again, but that's part of your job. The other part of your job today was hosting. You did a great job
It's called
at
milking the stalls.
Yeah. And any final statements from you, Arthur, before we head out?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for letting me be on. This is one of my two favorite trivia podcasts out there. So just having a chance to be a part of it was great. My other one, of course, funny enough, is Brain Ladle Trivia, where I actually am now the producer of. So if you have listened to all the trivia, listen to all the Triviality first, and then say, you know what, I want to keep going. Yeah, head on over to Brain Ladle, and if you like my voice, you can hear it a few more times. So
yeah, that's great advice for sure. And some an entity that we can't think enough.
An entity, it's a ghost.
An entity. The presence that we can't think enough. Airwave Media, our network. You can catch such great shows such as American Carnage, emotional badass. And how about the Film Vault? Love the Film Vault.
Yeah. Love the Film Vault. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you to Arthur and Rowan for being our special guests. Thank you, Matt, for scorekeeping and using the crazy inflatable pen. But for Jeff, Ken, Arthur, and Rowan, my name is Neal. We'll see you next time on another episode of Triviality.
Spend less time staying in the know about all things gaming and more time actually watching and playing what you want with the IGN Daily Update podcast. All you need is a few minutes to hear the latest from IGN on the world of video games, movies, and television with news, previews, and reviews. So listen and subscribe to the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts. That's the IGN Daily Update wherever you get your podcasts.
From the creators of the popular science show with millions of YouTube subscribers comes the Minute Earth podcast. Every episode of the show dives deep into a science question you might not even know you had. But once you hear the answer, you'll want to share it with everyone you know. Why do rivers curve? Why did the T-Rex have such tiny arms? And why do so many more kids need glasses now than they used to? Spoiler alert, it isn't screen time. Our team of scientists digs into the research and breaks it down into a short, entertaining explanation, jam-packed with science facts and terrible puns. Subscribe to Minute Earth wherever you like to listen.